Okay, greetings and salutations, everybody. I want to make a video that I'm going to post up on YouTube about how privatization in this province does not work. Many years ago, MTS got privatized. The Conservative government thought it would be a good idea to steal it from our noses. And this entire phone line, as you see, hanging over the side that I'm trying to record right now, is actually in very bad condition. What you don't quite understand is, with all of these trees and bad connection blocks that are all piled up on top of this phone line that is so poorly managed, this line is actually servicing a whole pile of people up in the Whiteshell region and all across Falcon Lake. And, it's still dependent on emergency services. So, what would happen if somebody had a heart attack or, taken a pretty nasty fall or something and needed to get an ambulance? Well, chances are they're not going to be able to get one because the basic landline service that you would see here that's so poorly managed is basically going to fall apart when they need the most, and somebody's going to definitely get hurt. This is an absolute piss-off. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is to show people as to how, what could end up happening if we end up getting hydro privatized by, I guess, the Conservative or NDP government. It doesn't really matter who the hell is in charge of this province. And that if you're actually using, or if you're going to support privatization of the company, well, please, please, please put a gun to your mouth and pull the trigger, because this planet does not require your existence. Now, let's take a good look at this. I just drove outside the province of Ontario, and you look at their telephone network, and it's really, really nice. You don't have to worry about trees falling on top of power lines, poles that are starting to rot, and well, that's because they have a large population to where they can make the commercial industry more viable. Because Manitoba does not have the population that is required in order to make privatization work, we're going to start seeing more and more of this kind of nonsense taking place. Now, there was once a time, probably about 20 years ago, where you'd start seeing these phone lines and communication lines actually better managed, because, well, the public owned them. And to be honest with you, even though MTS may be in charge of them, it's my opinion that the general public still should own these things. And we're starting to see more and more degeneration in these lines as time goes by. They talked about privatization inside Winnipeg, for instance. Like here, look at that. Look at all those poles over there, right? Whoa, look at all that. Those poles should not be falling over. But anyways, I was saying, privatization in Winnipeg, for instance, they don't deliver. They cost more and they deliver less, as you can start seeing here, just like MTS is. It's now delivered a hell of a lot less compared to what it could have been if it were a part of the government. Now, I believe that MTS is dirty. I know I've had 2 generations worth of family members actually working for the company at one time. But, as much as I try to get hired, I don't know if I could ever say anything positive about this. Like, there is absolutely no excuse for this. And, like MTS, for instance, has been delivering poor service And hopefully that I'd like to make the world see this. That something needs to be done about this particular company. And to be honest with you, I'd certainly love to see the government actually purchase the company back, because maybe some of this stuff, some of these bad things that we start seeing here with the communications infrastructure may not actually happen, or bad things actually shouldn't happen. And it's a real shame too that we start seeing such degenerative systems in our infrastructure. But anyway, there was a lot of people that wanted to see this, and I've been once asked for what my political opinion is. Well, I'm not a big conservative fan, as you can tell, but I can admit one thing: they did a good job with the farmers, that's for sure. But and the NDP, well, I don't know what to say about them. They're definitely better in charge for the civil service. We had a tax increase, for instance, recently, and people are saying, well, this tax increase, it doesn't quite work yet. Well, that's because we're supposed to, take a few years before it actually takes into effect. It's like, for instance, I just got hired into the government after, 5 years of being unemployed. And yeah, I'm getting a really decent wage for once, and I'm actually quite grateful. I'm not saying that I am indeed not grateful in any way. I'm just saying, in order for me to recover from the recession damage, that, a high wage isn't necessarily going to fix everything overnight. And that's just the way finances work. I honestly think that maybe in the next 5 years, maybe that tax increase may actually restore some order into the Manitoba government. Hopefully, anyway. Well, we'll see how things go from there, right? But what I really would like to see is a minority government of where Conservatives are in control of some things and the NDP are in control of others. And then we don't have to worry about the threat of privatization to see what happens like from companies like MTS here, who have not been able to deliver premium services. And at least this way, we know what the right hand is doing when the left hand's not watching it. And that's what we need. The threat of privatization is becoming greater and greater and greater, at least I feel, with the province maintaining a debt or a higher deficit. The quality of the roads when you drive down Higgins Avenue, for instance, in Winnipeg. There's a lot of other damaged roads all over this province too, but generally it's a lack of money, I would imagine. Anyway, I'm just here to make this video to say that we need to stop privatization in any cost. Under no circumstances can we allow companies like Hydro, for instance, to become privatized. And when we say we shouldn't be taking money out of Hydro, well, 100 years ago, Manitoba Hydro was first made so to deliver energy to this province. It was made by the province for the province, and it's designed to bring in revenue that the government needs to increase the ability or the quality of the services provided for the people. When we start seeing businesses privatized from the government, the businesses no longer have the people's interest at heart. When a business is privatized, the business does what's best for the business. And, in this case, well, MTS has been doing things that's best for the business by selling off big chunks of the company, by only bringing in cell phone service to where a higher population of people is, and know, what about the rest of the prophets past Thompson, right? Well, sorry, it's not out there. It doesn't exist. Like for instance, when anybody says we shouldn't be taking money out of hydro, well, that's what hydro is there for, I'm sorry to say. Anyway, I thought I would make this video and post it on YouTube. It's mostly my opinion, but I feel that people should know about it. Anyway, you take care.